Whangapoa Springs near Rotorua is one of New Zealand's unique geothermal sites. 5 years ago, this place was smack bang in the middle of a pine plantation. But thanks to some dedicated restoration work, Whangapoa Springs is being restored to its natural state.
It was given to the Department of Conservation in 2003 by what was then Harvey Forests, and since then we're basically focused on the ecological restoration of both the vegetation and the geothermal features in the reserve. So that's involved fencing, clearing the pine forest that was here surrounding the pools.
In 2005 we had the Upper Aramuri Primary School came and helped us put in 2,000 plants one afternoon, and a lot of their parents knew the place, so it's quite a big buzz for some of the parents to come back and be doing some restoration work.
And also the restoration of the geothermal springs themselves in terms of raising the water levels essentially.
What we're doing here is trying to sandbag the outlets by packing these bags and allowing the water to flow over top. We're essentially going to let the silica deposit on the bags, and over time you won't even see the bags.
The sinters is white stuff?
The sinters, yeah, it's basically deposited silica. The hot geothermal water flows out, essentially deposits the minerals out of the solution. So it's really important that it continues to get replenished, otherwise it gets all hard and cracked and basically grows over in vegetation over time.
And then once it comes out over here, will you end up with these little algae?
Yeah, those are all algal mats essentially, which just live in the flowing water. So by getting the water flowing over there, we'll increase the area of the algal mats, hopefully.
What about some of the plants that are found around the sides of the springs here? What's special about them?
There's a couple of species. The main one is thermal ladder fern. It's got an interesting Latin name, Nephrolepis flexuosa, and essentially it's one of our native threatened fern species. We've got quite a few species, and they're all subtropical species which like it really hot, and so we only get them in New Zealand around thermal areas. We've also got prostrate kanuka, which is up by the main pool, and there's also another species by the pool here, arching club moss. We've lost a lot of our geothermal areas from a whole range of things, from geothermal power production to weeds, grazing, land clearance. So we've only got a fraction of our geothermal areas that are still in good condition, and this is the only site on this particular field, which is the Atiamuri geothermal field, which is protected in any way. And there's a lot of research being done in geothermal areas around New Zealand, particularly looking at thermophilic bacteria.
So what are thermophilic bacteria?
They're essentially organisms that like it really hot, so they live only in thermal areas. They can stand really high temperatures and also quite toxic compounds, which you often get in geothermal areas. So there's a lot of research being done, but we don't even know a lot of the species, let alone how they function. So it's of great value to scientists, and it's got a lot of potential commercial applications further down the track.
Far from being a puddle in a paddock, Whangapoa Springs plays host to a fascinating array of plants, algae and bacteria, all thriving at temperatures that would be impossible for most other living things.